All right, so here we are with a system that we know was fully functioning just a few minutes ago, but the bootloader has become corrupted and we need to reinstall it. How do we fix it? First thing you want to do is go over and make sure that the machine has either a rescue minimal disk in there or the DVD that we originally installed the operating system with. It has to match your particular version. That's important. And I'll select it right here. I'll click OK. And what I'll do is press right Control R, which tells VirtualBox to reboot the system. From here, I'm going to select Rescue Installed System. I'll press Enter. It'll boot up to a minimal install. And what it's doing is, I shouldn't say install, it'll boot up to a minimal rescue environment. And so it's loading the operating system, a basic rescue environment, into memory. And then I'm going to access the hard drive, the operating system that's on the hard drive with this virtual rescue environment. So it looks very much like an install, but it's not. So I'll select OK here. You'll see some changes in a second. OK, saying where's the media. And notice it's saying where's the rescue image at. So I'll just click DVD because it is there. It'll boot up. And it'll ask me if I want to start networking. We don't have to do that now. You could do that if you needed. OK, now this gets a little different. Because the rescue environment's in memory, OS is on the hard drive, what it will do is it will create a mount point for me to take the hard drive, if I can find it, and mount it there. And it's telling me here it's going to put it under some place called /mount/sysimage, which is not typically where we find our root of our file system. Well, I'll say continue. Here's the command you have to remember to make this work. Chroot or change root /mount/sysimage. That will allow you to access the operating system on the hard drive as if it was mounted under /, which is where you would typically find it. If you don't do this, you can still rescue it. You just have to remember that it's under /mount/sysimage, where it can get a little confusing. So remember that command. Press Enter. Gives me, once again, it's making sure I understand where this thing's going to be. From here, I can just reboot, or I'm going to shell environment. I will tab to OK, take the shell environment, Control L to clear my screen. And what I'll do now is I'll type fdisk L, because I want to see where my bootable drive is, and that one is right there. Typically, it'll be the first partition on the disk. It can be otherwise, but it would be that one. And so from here, all I would have to type is grub-install and tell it dev sda, and that would be enough. You can specify the partition if you want to, and if the partition is someplace other than the first partition, that would probably be a logical thing to do. But since it's the first partition, it knows I am putting that on that first little sector of information on the disk. And I'll press Enter here. Let me go back in here. Yeah, grub install dev sda sbin grub. What did I forget to do? This is a perfect example of when you don't chroot into something. Because right now, if I type pwd here, it shows that I am at mount, at root, but I am really not there. Let me change root to mount sysimage. Now, if I type pwd, that's the real root, not the fake root. So as you can see, it causes you problems if you do that. So always remember this command. So now when I type that other command, let's go do that. I'll up arrow. Sure enough, no error messages this time. It actually wrote to the drive. Excellent. Well, I will type exit a couple times here. Get out. I'll tell it to reboot. Select reboot, select OK. And what you will see next is you should see a recovered file system, but what you'll see is a little problem with VirtualBox, and I'll show you how to get around that. So I'm going to say boot to the hard drive, and when it comes back and it gives me this. This is not a problem with what we just did. This is a problem with VirtualBox. For some reason, VirtualBox does not like that we've done that and that there is a DVD in the drive. I have no idea why, but we go back up here. Storage, click here. Say remove, take that disk out, click OK. Right Control R to reboot again. And this is exactly what we expect to see, a fully booting operating system. So we've recovered it. In a minute it'll boot up and I'll be able to log in. But right here you can see, I'll type Alt-D here, and you can actually see the system booting up and everything's working. So that's how you can destroy and then recover your GRUB master boot record.